what's going on YouTube and all those other good joints. Is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And I hope you all are doing well. It is Monday. Yeah, that's right. Monday. So, if this is your first time joining my show, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on other social media platforms, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you set your notifications to all, because you might not get notifications if you don't do that because of shenanigans going on with YouTube. You got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you do, what you chat about, all of that stupid stuff. You know how it is, man. You know how it is. And people said, I can hear you. Thanks so much, Dallas. Yeah, you was one step ahead of me. Let me know, because I was coming there next. Like, can y'all hear me? Yeah, so y'all can hear me and y'all can see me. That means let's go ahead and get busy. Now, wait a minute. Hold on for a second. Let me go ahead and turn my notifications off. I'm glad that you caught me. Hold on. There we go. All right. Yes, indeed. Now we can get busy. Notifications off. Don't want to be distracted. Oh, yeah. Oh. Real gorilla. There's some teams in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So, all right, like I said, it's Monday night, and of course we might as well set the week off right. Over the weekend, by the way, I did upload some standalone. Some was clips from our live streams, and then some was just some of the condensed clips from the storyboard, I call it. So you can have some reference clips. And you can send that to your friends just in case they don't want to hear me doing a lot of dialogue and all that stuff. They can just see the clips, because the clips tell stories as well. So if you haven't checked those out, please do, and share those videos. And then finally, we want to let you know that Kevin got a Kevin's Corner store. So check that out. You can get all kind of products with logos and little sayings and all that stuff in the corner store. And please text 330-974-4607 if you text MAGA to that number, just in case YouTube unexists me. Y'all know how to find me. And then finally, oh crap, I just realized I didn't start my monthly fundraiser link yet. The one that's on there right now is expired, I believe. But my regular Cash App and PayPal link is below in the description. So if you want to contribute to the channel somehow, please do so. It greatly helps out. And yeah, that's that. Now, let's get into it. But before we get to what I was talking about in the thumbnail, where Chicagoans are just absolutely fed up with what's going on up there in Chicago. Yeah, we need to go ahead and talk about Creepy Sleepy, because guess what, y'all? We getting clowned. We getting clowned by all the other nations, man. Yeah, Joe Biden and his shenanigans done reach Italy. So the Italians, man, done came out with a little parody about Joe. I'm gonna try not to laugh, but I can't promise. So let's go ahead and see what they're talking about when it comes down to Creepy Sleepy. Somebody said, "How from Connecticut? What's happening?" All right, let's get it. All right, what's going on with Creepy and the Italians? Let's see. Creepy's getting clowned? No.
Buonasera, Presidente Biden. Presidente.
Oh.
Good evening, Mr. President Biden. President. Here we are, President Biden.
Oh.
Qui.
Here.
Yes. Good evening. Buonasera. Yes.
I said to the President of Israel,
Sì.
Mikhail Gorbachev.
No, non è Gorbachev il presidente dell'Israele, no.
It ain't right. But it's funny because it's true. So yeah, let me see. He missed his cue. Went right past the mark. I'm sure every time he comes out to speak, they probably got a big fat X that everybody else can't see. Right there. The X with the arrow pointing to the X and big words saying you. And I'm talking about Joe. You come here and stand right here where the X is. And he still misses it. So now they're up there doing a real life reenactment of Joe. It ain't even a joke, man. It's a real life reenactment. So let's go ahead and finish seeing this, man. I'm sure they're going to show him in a light where he's respected on the global stage.
No.
Sorry, Michael Jordan.
No, vai. No. Where are you going? Stay quiet. Ecco. Ok. Quella
My
è la
leg
valigetta.
is...
È la valigetta dei codici atomici quella.
No.
Lei non sta bene? No.
No,
Gliel'hanno fatto grosso. Forse.
I forgot to take the pills.
No, ma non sono le pillole.
I forgot
Non
to
sono
take
le
the
I
pills.
called the nurse.
No,
Call
no,
the
no,
nurse.
no.
Now, guys, we're going to go ahead and have to see just how close that reenactment is to the real Joe Biden. And see, at the end of that little parody, what's concerning about it is they use an example, of the nuclear button. And I'm going to call the nurse and goes to push the button. See, that's what we're working with. That guy right there is supposed to have, control over the whole country, and he can decide if he wants to go to war or not. He carries around the football, I guess. We don't know. The nuclear football, but it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary when other countries can see exactly what's going on with creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. I'm sorry, corrupt, or should I say crooked, creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Other countries can see it. Our enemies can see it and our allies can see it. And they're clowning him. I wonder if anybody sent that parody to Joe. Yeah, so he can see just how he looks on the world stage. I wonder if they sent that parody to all of the fake news that's running around talking about now we're respected on the world stage. Does that look like respect? Huh? Ooh, your kisses, sweeter than honey. RESPCT. Find out what it means to me. RCT to PCT. You know how to spell it. Yeah, that doesn't seem like respect. Dang on it. So now here's the real Joe to show all those Italianos that, hey, man, that ain't funny. Joe ain't nothing like that.
Say to the House members, House Republicans, you got to decide.
Yeah.
Are you going to stand up for freedom?
Or what?
Or are you going to side with terror and tyranny?
What?
He's declined, and there's no question about it, but he was always sort of semi-declined if you go back 25 years. No, but he was not one of the smarter people.
No. Here we go.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking. But
If I feel
Yeah, please don't. Don't say what you're really thinking, Joe. You'll only give your enemies more material. There it is. You'll only give all these people more material to work with because he gives me material every single day. Every single day I watch a clip of him. I go, boy, this guy, man, he is writing joke after joke. I ain't even got to do nothing. For the most part, you can play the clips of Joe and they're funny. No dialogue, no commentary, nothing. Just play the clips. People should be busting the gut. And the ones that voted for him and overlooked all that should be shamed. Yeah, you should be able to recognize all the ones that voted for him if they were showing all these clips in the theater by all of the people in the audience that starts going like this. All the ones that start to go like that, you already know who they voted for. But the ones that are busting the gut, you already know, hey, my conscience is clean. My conscience is clean. I didn't vote for that dude. Yeah, so Trump's one step ahead of it. He was never that clever in the first place, but boy, now it's obvious that he's lost a noodle or two.
diminished or declined anyway, I think I'd know it. And I think I'd say, I'm not running. So
Yeah, and I would hope that your family would do the same from, I'm sure Melania would be like, nah, Trump, you know what, it's time to sit down, sweetie. I'm sure Eric, Ivanka, somebody would get a hold of him and say, no, I think you better go ahead and shut it down. Especially considering all of the stuff that Trump is going through just to become the president again. Now, if he wasn't in his right mind, are you kidding me? You think he can endure this? You think he could bear this if he wasn't in his right mind? You think he can negotiate all of this stuff going on in his life if he wasn't in his right mind? I was hearing somebody today talking about him and how active he is, you know, to go through trials, then get up and go and speak at this and do this event and make phone calls all day long, you know, and yet they're taking up his time. They're taking up his money with all this stupidity. Joe Biden would never, ever be able to get through a smidge of what Trump is going through. I want to see if they impeach him, just exactly how he's going to handle that. He probably is not going to show up. He's going to send a stunt double or something, send Mr. Potato Head in the chair. Who knows? So let's go ahead and see what these guys got to say about what we just saw.
Mark Simone, he declined. But the point is making here, this is not about age. This is about energy. This is about physicality. This is about logic. I mean, the fact that Biden is, how old, 81, 82, whatever he is, so what? Look at, I mean, there's a candidate out there that keeps talking about two men in their 80s. Donald Trump could be 60 or 65 in those clips. What do you make of that? People will see this. They look at it. You know, non-political people just look at the difference between the two.
Yeah. And if you can't see the difference between the two, boy, you might be special too. You might be on that Joe Biden program if you can't see the difference between them two. And that candidate that's always talking about both of them in their 80s is the rat known as Nasty Nikki. Yeah, she's out there trying to point out their age. Isn't that ageism? You're not allowed to do that. You can't be pointing out people's age. And see, people don't realize when the fake news tries to equalize things and make it appear that, hey, there's no difference between Trump and Biden. They're both in their 80s, you know what I'm saying? No, it's not your age. It's the condition of your mind. It's the condition of your mind. Joe's mind is blew out and is obvious. Trump's mind is still sharp and is obvious. So Nikki Haley trying to use that crap. Bull, get it out of here. Get it out of here. And we're about to talk about her in a second because did y'all hear? She took it to the chin, y'all. Oh, yeah, man. All front teeth got knocked straight out. She's walking around with dentures. So let's finish hearing these guys because they're about to get in on the fun about Joe.
Well, as Joe Biden would say, it's actually great. You don't have to say anything. You just, let me ask the viewers an honest question.
Yeah.
Would you let him drive you in a car?
Shoot, no.
I don't think anybody would.
No.
I'm serious. So, there's no way on earth he's qualified to do this job.
No way on earth. No way. I mean, who are they kidding to try to make us think Joe's sharp? Y'all see my show last week when Nancy Pelosi and all of them were out there? Joe Biden is sharp. He's the most intelligent man I know. And I'm going, don't you believe them? Don't you believe your lying eyes, I guess? Don't you believe your lying ears? Everybody who watches this dude for about 3 seconds. That's all it takes, about 3 seconds. Just the walk alone should let you know he's in no condition to go to war. No condition whatsoever. So, yeah, anybody who is denying this is either lying or they're delusional. I guess maybe there are some people out there who have never seen the clips that we see constantly of Joe Biden, or they are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome so bad, like Bill Maher and some others, where they're willing to overlook the obvious, that this guy's not fit to run the country. That dude's not fit to walk Gizmo. If he showed up, yeah, why don't we take Gizmo for a walk around the neighborhood? I don't trust you, Joe. Yeah, you might eat him, think he's a hot dog. I don't trust you, Joe. Might mash Gizmo. Then I have to really, Secret Service have to hold me down. Yeah, so I wouldn't trust that man to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we're supposed to trust him with the nuclear codes. We're supposed to trust him with our lives, our economy, all of that, our safety, all of that, please. So, yeah, these guys, they got a pretty good handle on the situation, and I hope voters get a handle on it as well before it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Oh, here it is. Nasty nuke. Nikki got nuked, y'all. Yeah, man. Now, what is going on with this woman? I mean, somebody tell me. First of all, let me make sure the chat's working because I can't see y'all. There you go. What is going on with Nasty Nikki? Why won't she just go somewhere and sit down? Huh? That's what I don't understand, man. Go home, Nikki. Go home. Why don't she just go home? And I think we might know why in a second. But let's see what happened in her hometown. Trump came to her court. He came to her field, her turf, and wore her tail out.
Who are you supporting in this race?
Donald Trump.
Why Donald Trump?
Donald Trump's the best man. Joe Biden's got 1 foot in the grave.
He sure do. That man might have both feet in there like a hot tub right now. He might be soaking both feet in the grave right now. Oh, this is nice and warm. Because hell is heating up his feet. It's nice and warm in this hot tub. That's not a hot tub, Joe. Yeah, it's a grave. So, yeah, he's in bad shape. But my man came out like Donald Trump.
How do you feel about your former governor being in the race right now?
I think she was a good governor, but she's not presidential. She's too liberal.
Too liberal? Wow. Now listen to that, coming from the folks in her own state. You telling me Nasty Nikki is too liberal, but she's out there trying to tell everybody, you know what? I'm a new generation Republican. I'm not like the neocons and all of that stuff. And let's bring back real. Man, she's a neocon. She might as well be Liz Cheney. She might as well be Hillary Clinton. And we're about to find out that she's, in my opinion, worse, because you're a traitor to your party. You're a traitor to the voters, because I really think she's doing this for nefarious purposes. Let's continue.
Right now, we can make a major projection.
What?
CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the South Carolina Republican primary, defeating former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley in her home state and securing his fourth major early victory in the GOP primary season. The former president taking another critical step toward winning his third Republican presidential nomination and continuing his dominance over the race ahead of the all-important and delegate-rich Super Tuesday contests just 10 days from now.
Super Tuesday coming, y'all. Man, I know they are hustling behind closed doors to get these indictments. And right about now, Fat Fanny's might be in jeopardy. Y'all all heard what happened to Fat Fanny and those phone call records. Fanny done went and found religion, had to go back to church. Heavenly Father, pray for me. Singing Fred Hammond, no weapon formed against Fat Fanny shall prosper. It won't work. No, you going to church won't work, Fat Fanny. So here she is up there talking about, you know what, Nathan might have rolled through about maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 10, maybe. Come to find out 35 times. Boy, I tell you, I wonder how she's going. Oh, yeah, she tried to come out and explain it, by the way, y'all. That software that we use, the software that I use to put people in jail with, that very accurate cell phone triangulation that we use here that I use in court when I'm prosecuting other people, and it's reliable. It's not reliable when it's focused on me. That's what it is. When are they finally going to tap out? When are they finally going to be like, man, come on, Fanny. Come on. Everybody, including the judge, should be giving Fat Fanny the side eye the whole time. Like, So you say those, she needs Uncle Ron. Say the cell phone data ain't accurate, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. Say, man was visiting your area about 2 in the morning, huh? I guess y'all was doing work. While he's picking the meat out of his teeth. Yeah. So apparently all of those visits in that neighborhood at random hours of night, before they were working on any cases, I'm sure they were sitting there playing Yahtzee, Fling Flang Flu, perhaps Monopoly. Who knows? But I hope, I hope to goodness that she gets the business. I hope she gets thrown out. Somebody said, what was your career before YouTube? Good question. Yeah, I mean, I did a couple things. Before I actually started this channel, when I started this channel, I was actually I was a district sales manager around this area. But my background prior to that was education. Yeah, I was a special ed coordinator, and then I became a principal. Not for public school either. It was a charter school. Yeah. And I had to crack skulls. All right, I had to crack skulls. So anyway, yeah. But now, getting back to this. So yeah, all of their little antics might be falling apart. We'll see what happens with the Jack Smith case. But they really are working hard to try to get something going before Super Tuesday. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So now let's hear from Nasty Nikki herself.
I said earlier this week that no matter what happens in South Carolina, I would continue to run for I'm a woman of my word.
That is one big pile of
Shite.
I'm a woman of my word. That is one big pile of shite. That's all that is. You think I believe you? I'm a woman of my word. Oh, yeah, you're a woman full of shite. A whole big Tyrannosaurus Rex amount of shite. So, yep, there you go. For some reason, Nasty Nikki, after getting her butt beat on multiple levels, multiple states, is still hanging in there. Now, what could be her motive? I mean, isn't she getting a hint? That's like asking somebody to go out with you 4 times in a row and they keep telling you no. So would you go out with me now? No. They're not smiling. They ain't joking. Yeah, no follow-up, nothing. Just emphatic no with the exclamation point at the end. No. Well, then maybe tomorrow. No. Okay, well, I'll ask you tomorrow if you like, but the answer's still going to be no. She's getting no by all of the Republican base. But yet, for some reason, she ain't getting a hint. I guess she thinks she got the juice. She's walking away after getting rejected and telling her friends, like, they love me. They love me. They just don't know it yet. They all love me. They really want to vote for Nikki. They just don't know it yet. No, we know it. We already know it. We don't want none part of you. Not one part. So let's continue.
Upstairs Decision Desk can now project that former President Donald Trump will win the state's GOP primary.
Yeah. We are the champion. Yes, we are the champion. We are the champion. Yes, we are the... We are the champion. Yes, we are the champion. We are the champion. Yeah, man. So Trump gave her the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. So now, since he done won South Carolina, what's next for Nasty Nikki?
Trump now has 3 times as many delegates as former Governor Nikki Haley. And then with these tonight, he could add up to 50 more.
It was, without question, an absolute thumping. Donald Trump crushed Nikki Haley in her own backyard of South Carolina over the weekend, winning their state's primary in record-setting fashion. As the dust cleared from the results that were again announced within just 1 minute of the polls closing, it was clear that there were overall 2 huge takeaways from the South Carolina primary.
Tell us, Dr. Twirly. Tell us the takeaways. That's what I want to know. Show us the other stuff. Show us the other stuff. Let's see. What are the takeaways?
Right. The first takeaway involves Nikki Haley. Simply put, gang, Nikki Haley is election interference.
What? So this goes back to my question. Why is Nikki, Nasty Nikki, still running? Why is she still in the race, man? So wait, election interference? How? You have to explain this, Dr. Twirly, because we don't want to get accused for, inspiring some type of insurrection or some, whatever, the internet so tell us out there conspiracy theories. So please elaborate.
That's one of the major takeaways from the South Carolina primary, where Nikki Haley, Hillary Haley, was absolutely and utterly humiliated. The fact that Nikki Haley refuses to suspend her campaign after what is considered the death knell of any campaign, losing in one's own home state. The fact that she continues to force President Trump to spend money on the primaries rather than turn his entire attention to defeating Biden in November means that Nikki Haley is now officially engaged in election interference.
Whoa! Now those are big words, Dr. Twirly. Those are big words. So you telling me that Nasty Nikki done went to war like 4 times in the ring. Every time come out, shit. Teeth missing, nose broke. It was a good fight. He only got me by a little bit. Yeah, but I'm coming back and I'm gonna fight him again next week. But you've lost like 4 times in a row. Yeah, I know. But I think I got a shot next week. No, 4 times should be enough for you. I mean, you can't even see out of one of your eyeballs. Is their eyeball still in there? Or did it it's still in the ring? Oh, and you want to go back and fight this man again? Yes. Yeah, I think I got a good shot. Are you kidding me? So what would make one have a hankering for punishment like this? Or could it be for the love of money? Something like that. Or could it be also that you just trying to sabotage Trump?
Election interference does not come solely by way of the weaponized legalism of the Biden and Injustice Department of Jack Smith and the money laundering antics of Fannie Willis and her boy-toy prosecutor. Nor does election interference come solely by way of the legacy media and big tech, colluding to bury stories damaging to sleepy Joe Biden. No, election interference, ladies and gentlemen, election interference is now officially coming from inside the Republican Party.
Inside the Republican Party, just like those nasty rhinos and established Republicans did everything they could to sabotage Trump in the 2020 elections, pretending that they were going to not solidify the election. But then that surprising J6 insurrection took place, and all of a sudden they came out, changed their minds. All right, let's go ahead and verify this election, I'm like, that's suspicious. Yeah, just like during the 2022 midterm elections, for some reason, all the candidates that Trump endorsed got no support by the Republicans, the established Republicans. Isn't that interesting? So now, one of the established Republicans, which is Nasty Nikki, who's lying to everybody saying she's not, you're telling me, Dr. Twirly, that she's a part of the rhinos that are trying to sabotage Donald Trump and interfere with the election? How? Please, give me some more information. Break this mess down.
Make no mistake, as of today, Nikki Haley and her ilk inside the Republican establishment are every bit as complicit in election interference as is Fani Willis or Jack Smith.
What?
Another way of saying it is Nikki Haley, as of today, is officially a Democrat surrogate.
Oh, a Democrat surrogate. So wait a minute. You're telling me that she's just staying in this race to be a spoiler? She's playing the role of Jabba the Hutt, or should I say, what was the guy we saw his cut on him? Krispy Kreme. Yeah, Crispy. What is his name? Darn. Crispy. What's his name? New Jersey. Oh, I can't even believe I forgot his name. I used to cut on him all the time. Yeah, I call him Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that guy. When he first got in, the whole point was to try to go ahead and talk about Trump. Chris Crispy. There it is. I call him Chris Crispy, even though it's Chris Christie. Chris Crispy. Yeah, so that guy. Him. His whole goal was to get in there and just keep trashing Trump and trying to draw votes away from Trump, trying to, guilt Republicans into voting for anybody besides Trump. He knew he didn't have a chance. Thank y'all so much. Y'all help me out sometime when I have a brain fart. So, yeah, what you're telling me then, Dr. Twirly, is that Nasty Nikki is in there for two reasons: to be a spoiler, to trash Trump, and to be a surrogate and a mouthpiece for the Democrats. Because, see, we just heard her on my show the other day when I played that clip of her getting out there and talking about, Trump supports Putin and he just sided with a dictator. And I'm going, that sounds like what them Democrats be saying. That sounds like what we just heard Hillary Clinton just say. Are you one of them? Are you a Democrat, or are you a Democrat mouthpiece? Yeah. So not only is she a mouthpiece and a surrogate for the Democrats, but she's also drawing more money from Trump because she wants him to campaign against her, and he should be focusing all of his attention and money on the main, event. But instead, he's toying around with her. Yeah, she wants to keep getting title fights. Yeah, somehow, she's just hanging around and showing up all over the place like, hey, you want some more of me? Now you got to stop and deal with her for a second. And honestly, at this point, Trump, he don't even have to spend no more time on Nikki. If he wanted to, he probably could just go ahead and say, you know what? I don't even have to campaign against you or spend no money in the next couple states that you want to hang around for some reason. But she knows that Trump right now got a lot of financial issues, and that taps his pockets when it comes down to spending a lot. I'm going to check my email. Thank you. I'll do that right after this. But it's tapping his pockets because he got to come up with $355 million for some stupid crap. They're trying to beat him over the head and stick him up without a pistol in all these other areas. And then you got her butt, instead of uniting the party, instead of saying, you know what, let me do what's best for the voters. Let me do what's best for the people who are definitely letting us know that we don't want you, Nikki. We all want Trump. Instead of doing what's best for us, what does she do? She do what's best for the Democrats and for these established rhinos by trying to keep Trump distracted, focused on campaigning against her and spending more money that he shouldn't even have to spend. That money should be going towards the main event. But yeah, just in case you wondered whether she's a surrogate for the Democrats, Gavin the Nuisance done leaked it.
Do you think that Haley or Trump would be easier to beat for him?
Well, first of all, I think she's one of our better surrogates, so I hope she stays in. I hope she does well tomorrow.
He said it right there. One of our better surrogates. Wow. Now, I wonder if she was like, oh, hey, you can't. I can't even believe he just threw me out there like that. I would play that clip on every show. I would play it on every network. That would become a campaign ad to destroy her. If you have any questions, what team Nikki is on. When the Democrats say she should stay in the race because she's our surrogate, that lets you know she's a rhino. Yeah, a surrogate, a mouthpiece for the Democrats. Thank you, Gavin Newsom, for verifying that.
Nasty stuff she says about Trump.
She's spot on 99% of it. So I'm enjoying this primary, and I hope it continues. So I wish her luck.
Look at that. They want her in there. And she's doing exactly what they want. Staying in there like the puppet she is. Like the useful idiot she is. Now, I don't know what they're giving her. But boy, I tell you, I hope her career sinks to an all. She better go and take the money she done made off of whatever. All these big, military, industrial complex, whatever. She better take that mess and just spend it for the rest of her life and go off the grid. I don't want to see her face. She should never have another platform in politics ever again. Yeah, it's obvious that she's no different than Liz Cheney. She might as well go ahead and switch and become a Democrat. It's ridiculous that she's just wasting our time and money going through this crap and embarrassing herself too.
Luck. But look, Trump's the nominee. We all know that. You know that. Everybody out there knows that. And I think the polls are suggestive. She's going to get well up tomorrow. And then she'll make a case, I guess, just to continue in this. But again, I have no problem with her continuing for as long as she wishes, because I think she's making a good case against Trump. Head to head.
I think she's making a good case against Trump. Anytime Democrats are cheering you on, you are the enemy of the MAGA movement. The MAGA Republicans. You are the enemy of the will of the people. That's what you are. Anytime they're supporting you, anytime they're bringing you on MSNBC and supporting you and stuff like that, or defending you as a Republican, you're not one of us. You're not one of us. Somebody says she'll probably get a segment or a show on MSNBC. Of course. They'll use her like Liz Cheney. She might even show up at a black church like Liz Cheney. Yeah, because see, once you're anointed by the raggedy Democrats as anti-Trump, then all of a sudden, they somehow are able to convince, impressionable Democrats that now you can accept this Republican any other time. You're supposed to hate Republicans on sight. But now all of a sudden, long as we use our media influence to tell you, okay, this Republican's not like the rest because they're fighting against Trump. So that we don't have to call them racists and white nationalists? Do you mean we can embrace them in our churches? Yeah, okay. That's how dumb people are, man. It's ridiculous.
Polls suggest that she would clean Biden's clock, and it's a tougher race.
Trump's the nominee. Everybody knows Trump's the nominee.
So
there's not a state that, with respect, there's no evidence to suggest, there's no polling to suggest, there's nothing to suggest, momentum or otherwise, that she can win any state.
So then the only reason she's in this is to be a spoiler. Now maybe, just maybe, she might be hoping that something mysteriously happens to Trump that might allow her to just be like, oh no, what? That's messed up. Well, I'm glad I didn't drop out because now I'm the leading nominee. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what happened to Trump. If he had a sudden death syndrome, I would vote for him in the grave just to spite her. I'd be like, he gets my nominee. I can never vote for this witch. She is disgusting at this point. Disgusting.
In the Republican primary coming up. So it's just not, Donald Trump is the nominee. Everybody knows that. No, I don't mean that to be dismissive. I have respect for the former governor, a lot more than the former president, Donald Trump. But as I said, I wish her luck in the context of being out there and making the case that we're making against Donald Trump equal.
She's one of our best surrogates.
Two questions.
One of our best surrogates. Now, that is not a title you want to have as a Republican right about now, especially checking the temperature of all of the voters that support Donald Trump. We don't like anything that remotely looks or smells like a rhino or a Democrat. I mean, I don't want nobody that's lukewarm. I don't want nobody who's wishy-washy. There are some issues that I need to know you have taken a full-blown stand. I don't want no signs of some darn liberal policies or negotiating with the Democrats. These people have been playing for keeps ever since Trump came down that escalator. They are going for the jugular. There's no time to have watered down in between rhinos or Republicans on the squad. And I'm going to be touching on some of them in a minute as MSNBC tries to cope with this victory, y'all. Let's hear what they got to say.
This year we've been asking in these early
Oh, God. Not big face. Not hot dog pack neck. Not Scary J. Blige hairstyle. Not her. Not the #1 race baiter on TV. Let's hear what she got to say.
Contest from the exit poll.
Lead nose first. Nose first. Christmas bulb looking right now. Looking like she looking right in the Christmas bulb. So let's see what the big nose, big face got to say.
And just wanted to get your read on these because we've talked about them a lot. I think they sort of serve as proxy questions in some ways. Number one, did Joe Biden legitimately win in 2020?
No,
that's one of the exit polls. Yes gets 32% of the folks voting in South Carolina, according to our exit poll.
32%? Now, something got to be up with those polls. Something got to be up with those polls. So you telling me 30% of Republicans think that Joe Biden won legitimately? I guess those 32% must have all voted for who? Nasty Nikki. But then, if they voted for Nasty Nikki, are they Republicans?
No gets 65%. So 2/3, 1/3 there. And we do have data that points to the fact that Haley's support in the primaries is comprised almost entirely of Democrats or left-leaning independents who have absolutely no intention whatsoever to vote for her in November were she to win the nomination.
Oh, so wait a minute. Just like in New Hampshire and a couple other places, where those numbers, I'm sitting there like, now, how did she manage to win that percent? Oh, Democrats. See, they have an open voting process there in South Carolina, so I guess Democrats could have voted as well for Nikki. And it appears that a lot of them did. Because you can't tell me that 32% of Republicans think that Joe Biden won legitimately. So Dr. Twirly is going to have to give us the real stats.
Take a look at this NBC exit poll. When voters were asked, do you believe Biden legitimately won the 2020 election? 88% of self-professed Trump voters said no.
There it is. Key. 88% of Trump supporters said no. 88% said no. So then you're telling me out of 88% of those people, now all of a sudden, that doesn't leave 32%. That doesn't leave 32%. So where's that other 32% coming from?
Of course not. 9 in 10 Trump voters said no, Biden did not legitimately win the 2020 election. But look at Haley's voters. Okay. 80% said yes.
80%? So out of the 30 or the small percentage of voters who voted for her in South Carolina, those Democrats and all them people, you're telling me that out of all those people, 80% of them said that they feel like Joe Biden won legitimately. Now I have a hard time believing that if those people who voted for Nikki Haley were real Republicans, I have a hard time believing that high percentage of people that voted for her would conclude that Joe Biden won legitimately. Only Democrats think that Joe Biden won legitimately. And I'm shocked that 88% out of all of the, Trump supporters, I'm shocked it's not 100. I really am. I don't even see how any real Trump supporter can conclude that Creepy Sleepy got 81 million votes.
Biden's totally legit. Gang, those aren't Republicans. And it's not hard to demonstrate. The latest CNN poll, was just taken some months back, found that 70% of Republicans do not believe Biden was legitimately elected. And that poll's reflective of a number of other polls that all show the same thing. The super majority of Republican voters believe that Biden cheated. Biden was not legitimately elected. And yet, we're supposed to believe that Nikki Haley's voters, 80% of whom believe Biden is completely and totally legit, are Republicans.
Yeah, and I can't believe that. That dog don't hunt. You're not going to tell me that if she did get Republican votes, that out of those Republicans who voted for her, that 80% of them think that Joe Biden won legitimately. The guy who stayed in his basement the whole time. The guy who had a Freudian slip on the campaign. Well, I'm sorry, he wasn't on the campaign trail. He was in the campaign basement talking about we put together the most comprehensive voter fraud program. I know they were sitting there like, snakes. See, somebody turned him off. Somebody hit the off button on Joe. That guy, 81 million votes, most popular president of all times. And you're telling, if any of those Republicans that voted for Nikki, if 80% of them voted for Nikki, then that 80% is dumb. Yeah, I mean, the fact that if they were Republicans that voted for Nikki, then they're dumb. But secondly, if they can't see that Joe Biden really didn't win, then they're dumb. Yeah, she deserves them. Take them, take them, take them. But we know that those voters were not Republicans. And yet Trump still gave her a smackdown. As much as they tried to go ahead and slide a couple people in to help her out, she still got her butt beat.
Nikki Haley is election interference. She is a Democrat surrogate whose campaign has effectively become a money laundering operation.
There you go.
And then a question about
Big Face is
Trump
back.
is convicted. Is he fit to be president? Should he face criminal conviction in any one of the outstanding 91 indictments he faces? You get, again, very similar numbers. Yes, he's still fit at 65. No, he's not at 32. Again, that's sort of two.
Now, look at that. Out of all of those Trump supporters, we say yes, 65%. But then those Nikki Haley supporters over here, which are most likely Democrats, they all said, let me see, 32% said no. Okay. So let's see then what Big Face has to say about this. Because I'm sure she's going to come in non-biasedly. She's going to give some serious intellectual thought to this process. She's going to be fair and balanced. Or she's going to do what she always do. Come in with some racism, race baiting, and a whole bunch of propaganda.
Thirds, 1/3. What's your read on that?
Right, and I think that you can go back to what Steve was just saying about the makeup of this electorate. I mean, this is a, 92% white, overwhelmingly evangelical Christian primary electorate in South Carolina. And I think writ large around the country, that is the way they think. I mean, even...
How do they allow this woman to be on TV? Put on your red dress and throw on those high heels. This woman right here is constantly prostituting herself. So somebody said, dang, YouTube, what is YouTube doing to y'all? They messing with y'all? Yeah, they suck. I'm surprised they letting 371 people watch me right now. So now, you hear Big Face? She didn't even warm up to the racism. She went straight in. You know what, man, they bring me in off the bench like a hockey player. That the whole purpose is to fight. Yeah, y'all up here losing the game. Like, all right, guys, it looks like we're going to lose this one. Hey, Frank, you're up. Yeah, Frank got one job. Yeah, you're the enforcer. Come in, fight. No, I am. He don't even go out with a stick. Hey, let's go out with his fist right now. And why isn't he even coming out with a stick? Because he has no intentions. He's come straight out there swinging. Yeah, this woman comes straight off the bench with racism. I thought, white. Yeah, look at this. The numbers are white. So now let's see here how she's going to insert race here as a...
And I think...
How many are white?
2% white.
Hold on, let me...
65. No, he's not at 32. Again, that's sort of 2/3, 1/3. What's your read on that?
Right, and I think that you can go back to what Steve was just saying about the makeup of this electorate. I mean, this is a, 92% white.
Somebody go stick a sock down her throat. I want to see the tip of that sock sticking out of her rectum. That's how deep I want that sock down her throat to shut her up. So now 82% of my white. What does that have to do with anything? You know, I wonder how they're going to justify the high numbers or the abnormally high numbers that Trump most likely will get from blacks and Latinos. I mean, what is she going to say about that? But here she is. It comes down to their white and what else? Oh, Christian too.
Overwhelmingly evangelical Christian primary electorate in South Carolina.
Let me... This right here, man, this is prejudicey. They're always talking about, as stereotypes and prejudicey in it. So now, it's obvious that Big Face hates Christians. She hates white people, and she's using this right here. If you ever wonder whether the left will support Christianity if they get real power, yeah, they won't. This woman right here, yeah, if they could demonize Christians because a lot of Christians vote for Trump. A lot of Christians aren't on their liberal policies and ideas. If they could demonize them to the point where they could punish them for just being Christians and believing what they believe, they would. You could tell she has disdain for it. Evangelical Christians. So what? I mean, if I was an evangelical Christian, I would not even come close to watching this show. So now, any white person, any Christian person, I don't even know why they watch this. And this chick on here just throwing all of these people under the bus and not able to legitimately justify what does being white and a Christian have to do with the crap she's trying to say that's contributed to why they feel this way.
And I think writ large around the country, that is the way they think. I mean, even among the independent voters.
I think that way. And I'm black and I'm a Christian. I think the same way. Big face. Just like I think you got a big round apple head.
Voters who are about, 21% of this electorate. It's like almost a 50-50 question as to whether President Biden is the legitimate president of the United States. That is what the Republican Party is now. It is a baseline condition of being a base Republican right now that you do not believe that the 2020 election was legitimate. You believe that Donald Trump is the rightful president of the United States. You believe that he's the most electable candidate. That's also in these exit polls, more so than Nikki Haley, which there's no empirical data that supports that. And you believe that he should be president regardless of whether he is convicted of a felony.
And all of those things are true. But Big Face want to make you think if you believe those things, you're stupid and you're brainwashed and all of that stuff. Oh, and you're white and you have to be an evangelical Christian to believe all of that stuff. And I'm saying, wow, y'all just overlook all of the growing, demographic groups that are starting to support Trump. Y'all just act like that stuff ain't happening. So y'all want to keep this narrative that only white evangelical Christians support Trump. Is that a bad thing? I mean, this is what they don't realize. If you're a real Christian, you don't see race. You see your brothers and sisters in Christ. So if I'm black and I hear her throwing off on white Christians, that doesn't help me. I'm going, before I see race, black, white, or whatever, I'm going to start off with, okay, these are my brothers and sisters in Christ. And you want me to hate them because they're Christians and they're white? Huh? Man, I tell you, but here she is, though, doing what she does, man. They done paid her to come out there with that raggedy wig on top of her head. Yeah, y'all right. She got the Donald Trump hairstyle, but hates him.
Which she very likely will be in the next month.
Oh, God. So she thinks he's going to get convicted. They're hoping. That's their last-ditch effort. They're like, please, God, please convict this dude. Yeah, but like I said, if he goes to jail, I'm writing him in. I don't care what the situation is, Trump. So now, let's listen to Anderson Pooper-Cope.
Overwhelming results in South Carolina. We called it right at the top of the hour as soon as the polls closed. Back to the teams here in New York. Listen, you've heard a lot of Trump speeches.
Yeah, I mean, RIP the Reagan GOP. There's something so jarring about watching Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott, all of who condemned him after January 6th, lining up to do their best campaign rally impersonation and saying this is the most qualified man to be president.
The night of January 6th, Lindsey Graham was saying he was,
I'm done with him. Enough.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I mean, you bringing up Lindsey Graham. Hey, we don't like that dude. Get him out of there. Hey, y'all saw what happened, I think it was over the last summer, when Lindsey Graham tried to ease up on the stage with Donald Trump and he got booed. When Donald Trump went to South Carolina, we don't like no Lindsey. He revealed himself. Right after that J6 debacle. And then had the nerve to help sabotage the midterm elections. Putting that stupid bill out there to ban abortions across the whole United States, knowing that would just simply encourage all of the liberals to go crazy and come out and vote. Yeah, we already hip to Lindsey Graham, but then she's trying to say, well, I can't believe they debased themselves for coming out here and there. Yeah, Lindsey's trying to save his own hide. That's what he's doing, but it's too late. If somebody primaries Lindsey, I hope he get his butt beat. I don't like rhinos. We need them out. But now she slides in Tim Scott. Now, I don't know what Tim Scott said after J6, but I got a problem with any Republican that gave any legitimacy to the narrative that the Democrats were pushing after J6. I didn't even like them saying, well, I don't agree with what the president said or did, but still, I don't even want that. I don't want but still. I want them to come out like, this is ridiculous. I cannot even believe y'all are trying to say that Trump encouraged an insurrection. He did nothing of the sort. He said nothing wrong. He did every single thing that all you raggedy behind Democrats have done. And I'm upset that any Republican will come out here and try to say, well, let me balance out and try to, straddle the fence here by saying, well, I don't think we should impeach Trump or throw him completely under the bus, but I'm going to go ahead and try to, just let him know that I don't agree with what he did. I'm going, what do you not agree with? What did he do that made you say, well, I don't agree with that? What, you don't agree with him, question the election, trying to go ahead and get people to come out like the Democrats constantly do and rally and let their voices peacefully be heard? You don't agree with that? I'm trying to get the understanding of why any of our Republicans after J6 said anything negative about Trump's behavior, anything. So if Tim Scott did make any type of comment like that, which I don't recall, but maybe he did. But they're trying to say, well, after J6, he said something about it. And I know Lindsey Graham did. I know he did. He was like, I'm done with Trump. Yeah, that's why Trump should be done with you, and every other Republican voter should be done with Lindsey Graham. Get his butt out as soon as we can. But Tim Scott, I have to go ahead and find the reference of what he said. But even with that being said, listen to what they got to say about Tim Scott.
Enough. Listen, it is the greatest political comeback in history. So just 3 years ago, he was done in the party, and it only took a matter of months.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. Yeah, they can't understand how he's like a weeble wobble, and they don't fall down. They can't understand it, man.
Before he came back and handily won in Nikki Haley's home state.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Yo, look at him. Don't call it a comeback.
Can you dig it?
I've been here for years.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Yes, I can.
The question now becomes this. She's held on. We'll see where the margins break down tonight to about just under a third of Republican votes in some of these primaries. How many of those votes will go to Donald Trump? Because he will need those in a general election.
No, he won't. Because those votes that went to Nikki, you're talking about the third, were not Republicans. If you take away those Democrat votes, it probably was like 98% to 2%. That's what it probably would have been. So don't try to throw those people in there with us. Don't do that. Don't try to throw those Democrat voters in there and try to talk about, look at that there's a third of no. Isolate Republican voters from Democrat voters and see what that number looks like. It's obvious that those were not a whole bunch of Republicans. I'm not saying none, but I guarantee you, whatever percentage Nikki won in South Carolina is not an accurate depiction of Republican MAGA voters. I guarantee you. So don't be trying to say, well, what is going to happen with this extra 30-something% of the people? He's going to need those votes. No, those people are going to vote for Democrats. That's what's going to happen. Just like they were not going to vote for Nikki. They was just hoping to spoil it.
Some of those are never going to be with him, but how many is the open question now?
Okay, for me,
Oh, here come Crying Van. It's a great day. My kids. So here comes Crying Van. I don't want to hear nothing from a crying man Van. Yeah, let's hear from Crying Van.
Tim Scott is obviously auditioning to be vice president. And every time Trump just ritually humiliates him, talks about him having low energy, makes fun of his campaign, and then Tim Scott gets out there and he tries to do something that's really not natural to him, and then he walks off. But,
He don't necessarily humiliate him. However, I don't even know why Tim Scott ran. I don't even know why Tim Scott ran. I really don't. I was like, what are you doing, Tim? What are you doing? I mean, him trying to get up there and get in the mix like a pit bull. And I'm like, this is not your nature, Tim. And then every once in a while, he might throw a little something out. He knew he couldn't go too hard against Trump. But at the same time, he tried to balance it, and it just didn't look right. He looked unnatural even in, the I guess, the primaries against all those other people, and it's forced. Whole bunch of them. I'm like, Tim, what are you doing? Go somewhere and sit down. Just stay in your lane, man. So here they are trying to talk about Tim Scott. And Trump, he does hit him with a couple low blows. As he should.
Yeah, we were talking about before. This is kind of the pathway that Pence got on. And so you might not just be watching the resurrection of a Tim Scott, but you might also be watching the rise of resurrection of Trump, the rise of Tim Scott.
I cannot think of a Republican that I want to be vice president more than Tim Scott.
Sure.
I don't. I mean, as a senator, he could stay there, but I don't see him as a vice president because Tim Scott is not a MAGA Republican. I think he tries to straddle it too much. I don't trust him. I need somebody who is dogmatic. I need somebody who I know is 100% MAGA. I need to hear speeches addressing some of the main issues that we all see as Republicans. And they're addressing them the right way. Now, some people don't like Vivek, but one thing I can say, every time he addresses a topic that we all see, he says the right thing. He says the thing I'm going, that's what I was thinking. Tim Scott, too much, gray area. I don't know what you really think. I don't know what you really side. Byron Donalds, he's another one. Carrie Lake, I would definitely support her. Stefani, yeah, her, yeah, but Tim Scott, nah, man, he's too watered down. Nice guy, but too watered down. Can't trust it. I need somebody after Trump is gone to pick up the MAGA mantle. That's what I need to see. The MAGA mantle. Pick it up and run with it. I don't want to have to question whether you are MAGA Republican, period. Thank you, by the way. Somebody said my beard looks fantastic. Thank you. I've been working on it. There it is. Might grow it down to my ankles. Who knows? All right, but let's continue because now they're about to have another race baiter come in and try to suggest that Tim Scott is a sellout, y'all.
We love Tim Scott. All Republicans of all stripes love Tim Scott. And I agree with what Donald Trump said. I think he's a good man. And I think he's a humble man. And I want him to do whatever he has to do to get this job. I really do, because I think
you're in love. He does seem willing. You should feel good.
You all are down on what is going on here. But politics has become performative, and he is doing what he has to do. And if he is on this ticket, Republicans are going to love it. They're going to love it. So I'm glad to see him going on.
Tim Scott I firmly believe Tim Scott is a good man. Yes. I've said that many times before. My line about Tim Scott is that
Hey, I'm reading y'all comments. Somebody said, I only trust Carrie Lake. She is the one that I trust. Now, I 100% trust Carrie Lake. 100%. Yeah, so she would be my first pick, but it seems like she is leaning towards knocking it out the park as a senator. Now, if they steal that from her, which that would be a big steal because I think she's smashing them up there. But now, listen to this dude right here, the pro-black brother who works for the white network and serves the Democrats, but he's going to question Tim Scott's blackness. Here we go.
I would give Tim Scott a kidney if he asked me, but I'd never vote for him.
Why not? Why not?
But the person that Tim Scott has become while auditioning, you call it auditioning, I'd probably call it something else if I was just talking to Audie and Van and we were in a room by ourselves.
Oh, so in other words, me and the other black dude, we'd sit there and we would trash Tim Scott and call him a sellout and an Uncle Tom. That's what you're saying? See, yet here you are being prostituted on CNN. Designated race baiter, keeping your own people on the plantation. Yeah, so that's what me and other black conservatives we talk about. In fact, other white conservatives when I'm on my show. Yeah, I'm not a respecter person. I'll tell the white conservatives along with the black conservatives that I think you're a sellout to the nation and black folks. The raggediest party on the planet, the Democrats, and you're supporting them as they're destroying our whole country. And yet ain't did nothing for black people, and you're trying to keep black people voting for him. Yeah, got the nerve to talk about Tim Scott. Now, like I said, I'm not a Tim Scott hater, but I'm not a Tim Scott fan. But for you, this guy on CNN to come out there and try to suggest that he's a sellout after y'all voted for Joe Biden, talking about some, you don't vote for me, you ain't black. After y'all voted for Joe Biden, and he talking about the 90 whatever Ford crime bill or whatever, and eulogizing Robert the Bird and talking about I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle. Talking about Barack is the first clean-cut, well-spoken African-American This fool and Van Jones crying after Biden got in. And yet here he is, Tim Scott. I will call him something else if we were sitting there. No, I'll call you something else to your face. I wouldn't have to be behind closed doors to call you something, buddy.
But what he's doing right now is embarrassing. And I think this is not the Tim Scott that we know. But you also see this happen with many men and women who actually find themselves in this Trump orbit. I mean, this is not who Lindsey Graham, we knew Lindsey Graham to be before.
No, he wouldn't even show his face in Munich.
Yeah, that's who we knew Lindsey Graham to be. He revealed himself. Yeah, I know he's a weasel. Right now, he's like, he's the guy that if you at war and everybody says, all right, guys, let's charge the enemy, everybody out of the foxhole. And we come out the foxhole, charge, and we look back and see Lindsey Graham darting the opposite direction. Hiding in the bushes. And when the war is won and we're all celebrating, here he comes out of the bushes. yeah, we did it, didn't we? No. Go on now. You can't be on the squad when it looks like the momentum is with us. I don't want you coming out of nowhere, the same guy who's talking about, I'm done with Trump, I'm done with this. Now all of a sudden, Trump, this man's going to take us into... No, man, I don't need your praise. We don't need you. Just go somewhere and sit down until you're primary and get out of there. All rhinos must go.
After years and years going with John McCain to the conference that celebrates the NATO alliance, he wouldn't even show up.
Yeah, we don't like them kind anymore. Yeah, we don't want them coming to CPAC. We don't invite rhinos no more. All of those sellout rhinos, they've revealed themselves. They don't get invites.
Yeah, thank you. That bolsters the point that I'm making. And you're seeing a shell of who Tim Scott really is. He's not the rah-rah, this is Trump country, woo-ha, let's go do this. I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, what does he get from this? I mean, there's a presidency. Maybe, but if he misses, what is he, HUD director?
Now, what's crazy about this is Kamala Harris, when she was debating Joe Biden, called this man a segregationist. Full-blown segregationist. And then right after rah-rah, Joe, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. This man was a segregationist, and he was responsible for me as a little girl not being able to ride the bus and all of that. But now I'm his VP. Now I'm supporting him. And this fool up here, I guess he forgot all about that. Tim Scott's a sellout and a bootlicker, I guess.
He's a U.S. senator from South Carolina and one of the most respected Republicans in the country.
But he's losing. But he's losing. No, not either way. My point, and I think Van's point and everybody else's point, is that you're losing respect day by day by going out here and auditioning.
There's a segment of lifelong Republicans who are mortified by what Tim Scott's doing. We are definitely the minority. You're absolutely right, Scott. But there are some of us who are like, we thought you were one of the good ones. We thought we were one of the good ones, the good old boys, the obedient ones, huh, Tim? That's what she's saying. We thought you were one of the good ones, the ones that support, our Rhino party. So now that Tim's trying to save his reputation and his career by supporting Trump, because it's obvious Trump got the momentum and the support of the people. And any politician that is a Republican right now, Rhino or not, it's unfortunate that you got to get to this position to support Trump. See, I don't trust Trump supporters that support him after they lose or after, everybody is eliminated and they're like, oh, crap. All right, now I got to come out and support him or else, the people going to cast me out. Only reason I respect Vivek is because even though he ran against Trump, he never threw Trump under the bus. He never came out and did what a lot of the other ones did when they thought that it would gain them points by trying to point out negatives about Trump. And so he gets the respect from me from that standpoint. The rest of them tried to get in low blows and jabs and stuff. And I'm going, all you're doing is giving the enemy ammunition. And then you're going to have to eat all those words once your butt drops out and Trump wins. Now you got to eat humble pie. Now you got to come crawling back up to him and pretend that this is our man. He's our champion. And I'm going, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Man, Ron DeSantis ruined himself. Now, granted, I hope he stays as the governor down there in Florida. But, I mean, coming out afterwards, after all of that, after I've seen these people use talking points, anything coming from the Democrats' mouths or their propaganda
If I hear any Republican repeat that mess, I got a problem with you. Any Republican, repeat that mess. So my thought is expose that mess. That's what you do. And if they ask you questions, but you know what, I'm not going to entertain that. I'm here to talk about what I'm going to do. Now, I might have some differences with the people on the stage with me, but I'm not going to jump out there and give y'all talking points because I know the whole goal throughout that whole process was not to even hear from these candidates. It was all designed to vet those candidates against Trump and make them turn on him. And some of them gave the fake news and the left what they wanted. And that burns me up. That's why I've lost respect for a lot of them, especially Nikki Haley. Definitely her. Mike Pence never had respect. After that whole thing, he was done anyway. Chris Christie, he's done. But the ones that remained, still, I'm like, yeah, just Tim, you should have just sat down, waited some time later on. But why would you run against Trump? But guys, enough about Nikki Haley and the fake news. Enough about that. I ran across a clip that just brought my soul some joy. I get joy when I think about. So now, guys, going back up to Shitetown that you saw in my thumbnail. Apparently, Mayor Conehead done kicked the hornet's nest and done stirred up a whole bunch of black folks. Somebody said, who do I want to be the VP? Well, like I said, my first pick would be Carrie Lake. It would be Carrie Lake. You know, Elise Stefanik, she's up there too. I like what I hear from her. And Vivek. Those are the only three that right now I'm going, yeah. Those three are the only three that I can see. But Carrie Lake is my number one choice. So now, let's hear what's going on up there in Shitetown because Mayor Conehead done kicked the hornet's nest. And we got some black folks coming out there and calling him all the way out. Let's get it. Look at this sister, y'all. She dropped it, man.
Illinois has spent more than $1 billion of Chicago tax money already on the people who are there. So the Illinois governor thinks he has the answer to it all. What? He's blaming Texas.
Abbott willfully planned the arrival of these individuals in locations and at times that would engender the maximum chaos.
So wait, who willfully planned those illegal immigrants to come into Texas? Huh? Oh, the mayor, the mucus. That's who deliberately planned that. Yeah, Texas didn't get a chance to adjust. They didn't get a chance to schedule all these illegal immigrants in. They come in when they want, all day, all night long. A conveyor belt. But here he is. He deliberately planned. Hey, if they don't get a chance to prep and get ready, then why should you? And they don't even declare themselves to be a sanctuary city. Y'all do. So what are you talking about?
For the city of Chicago. Think about that the next time a politician from Texas wants to lecture you about being a good Christian.
Oh, my goodness. Then invoke religion. The party that is probably most anti-Christian, but now all of a sudden, hey, lecture you. No, being a Christian also requires you to obey the laws of the land. All right? Just because you're a Christian don't mean you got to be a fool. You obey the laws of the land. So let's continue.
They shouldn't leave it to the governor of Texas, who has no goal but to sow chaos and destruction.
There it is. That's the goal. It's not to stop illegal immigration. No, it's to sow chaos and destruction. That's it. All these illegal immigrants coming in, that's not the real problem. He's okay with that. He's like, you know what? I'm going to use all these illegal immigrants to sow chaos and destruction. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. You see how shallow their talking points are? And all you got to do is stop and just internalize it and say, you know what? That makes no sense. I can't even believe you just said that. You want us to believe that that's his goal, is just to sow chaos and destruction. Now, Texas has been dealing with this crap for years. Yeah, they've been dealing with chaos and destruction caused by mostly the Democrat Party. And yet here you are talking about his only goal is to sow chaos and destruction. No, it's to give y'all what y'all want. But now, all of a sudden, the black Chicagoans don't like what they're getting. Here you go. Listen to this soul sister.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure everybody knows about a movie
Scarface.
Yes, I love that movie.
Right?
Tony Montana.
It's a classic. Al Pacino. Right? Everybody knows about that movie. And we focus on the famous lines in that movie.
Like what? Wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Like, shut up, bubblehead. Look at the pelican. Fly, pelican. Hey, Manny, look at the pelican. That stuff like that? Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
The acting and the hello to my little friend and all that. But it's the beginning of that movie that matters.
Oh, the beginning?
When those words are coming up on that screen.
Yeah.
That's what matters. And those words say...
Say what?
In May 1980, Fidel Castro opened up...
Wait a minute. The man chicken's dad opened up the harbor?
The harbor at Merrill, Cuba, with the apparent intention of letting some of his people join their relatives in the United States. Within 72 hours, 3,000 U.S. boats were headed for Cuba.
Whoa.
It soon became evident that Castro was forcing the boat owners to carry back with them not only their relatives, but the dregs of his jails.
Oh.
Of that 125,000 refugees that landed in Florida, an estimated 25,000 had criminal records.
Oh, so that's how we got Tony Montana. Oh, he was over there. You know what? What are you talking about, Banana Boat, okay? Yeah, I'm a political refugee, okay? Huh? Look at you. Huh? You think you're so fancy? Huh? All these guys that like you. Yeah, that guy. Take a good look at the bad guy. Because this is the last time you're going to see a bad guy like this, I'll tell you that much. That guy right there. So that's where they came from? They weren't gentle woodland creatures? You're telling me Fidel Castro had nefarious reasons for unleashing all of them to come to the U.S.? He's like, yeah, we'll send them. We'll send them. And we're going to send a whole heap of criminals, too. So we don't have to deal with them. Now, I wonder if other South American leaders have followed that script from Scarface.
That's what's up. That's what has happened in the United States right now.
Oh, shoot.
All this asylum-seeking lie, all this...
Asylum-seeking lie. Now, you hear this white nationalist disguised as a black woman? Well, this white lady's good. This white lady's good. She got the black mannerisms down and everything. Man, makeup looking solid. I would have mistaken her for a black woman. I really would. So let's continue because she said that asylum seekers are lies. Yes, they are. But I guess Mayor Conehead doesn't recognize that. You see him over in the background? You see him with that Conehead? Yeah, he thinks they're all here for asylum, right? No, he knows they're not here for asylum. And so do we.
About refugees and no. What's happening is they're emptying out the dregs of their jails into the United States, into our communities. They're junking up our country.
Oh, wait a minute. Where are all of the liberals rushing in to shut this white nationalist up and tell her you're a xenophobe? Where are they? You can't say stuff like that. When Trump said that, he was what? A xenophobe? Yeah, when he identified and recognized how stupid we are as we let all these illegal immigrants come into our country. And you got all these presidents down there like, oh, yeah, so the Democrats want them? We'll give them to them. Yeah, we're going to give them all of them. Hey, all you folks in the prisons that we got to feed and house and all of that stuff, you want your freedom? You want your freedom? Yeah, how about you all take your butts right on across the border and become a problem for the U.S.? So now this sister this white nationalist dressed like a black lady is up here dropping bars.
And yeah, we feel some kind of way about it because it's our country. That's right. It's our country. People like Vasquez and them, look how disrespectful they are. Now you just gave that man a resolution for his father's restaurant. And every time we get up and talk, he's working this room. Look at him. Look at him. But he wants his resolution for his father to be respected. Vasquez, Lopez, all them want their people to be respected, but they can't even give us the dignity.
Oh, Vasquez, I don't know who you are. I don't know who Lopez is, but they better go and hide under a desk somewhere because that white nationalist is pointing them out. You hear her over there spewing all of her MAGA talk and everything. because Chicago's MAGA country. Wow. So, man, how do you explain this, man? This can't be real. Because, I mean, she sounds just like a Trump supporter. No way. How would Joy Reid explain this? How would Big Face explain this? Remember, only white evangelicals probably supports this type of speech.
But what we do, but them, ain't no question about it. Yeah, Black History Month, the American descendants of slavery. And I want you to know, Brandon Johnson, I understand what Breakmore's saying about we still on the plantation. But
the Democrat plantation, but not her, because guess what?
But what you looking at right now, this is what a free Negro look like.
A free Negro. I wonder if Big Face knows that. I wonder if all of the Abraham Kendi X -3 / power to the people should bash Martin KX. I wonder if he knows that. I wonder if all the race baiters know that we're free. Nah, they can't let us know that because then, of course, they would be out of business. The race baiters, yeah, they need to make sure that we're a free entity. They need to make sure that when we do start saying, now, wait a minute, this is odd. We've been voting for the Democrats for a long time. We're getting nothing for our votes. In fact, they're giving us a whole bunch of illegal immigrants in our neighborhood. Maybe we should go and vote for some, what? What, racism? Oh, we're still slaves? We're not free? And you're going to free us? The white liberals are going to free us? The same white liberals who their party back in the day put us in slavery and used the same tactic to keep us on that plantation. Now they've updated it and got us back on that plantation. Those are the ones. And then they're using people like Brandon Johnson and Big Face Joy Reid and Van Jones and all of them to make sure that we stay on the plantation. Okay, we'll go and vote for you. That's what we're going to do. Not me, though, and not her. Let's continue.
And I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back. We're going to stand for our people. We're going to get them out of our community. Because they don't deserve to be there. Anytime they can't give us 3 lousy minutes of their attention while we sit here and watch y'all get them all kind of money, you watch us. We black out here. All right. We're going to handle our business. You watch that.
She said, we're going to handle it. I'm a free black.
That's how we get down.
That's how we get down. Woo-wee. Man, I got a good mind to go up to Shitetown just to see what happens. Go up there, just have some popcorn. Yeah, I seen y'all on TV. I want to see how this all unfolds. Now, I'm hoping that this does not turn into something physical, but I do hope they embarrass the Democrats up there. I hope all these black people rise up and reject the Democrat Party in fashion. In fact, look at this lady. I've seen her on many clips where she confessed that Brandon Conehead Johnson has deceived her and she voted for him and she's mad about it. And now she done made her way onto Fox and she got a message for all of the black Chicagoans in Shitetown. So here we go.
Angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity. This year, we're working to turn Chicago red. We are so angry with Pritzker and with President Biden and with our mayor that we have decided that we're going to vote Republican this time around.
Woo-wee. I might move up there just to vote. Then move right back to Ohio right after. There we go. So you telling me that they done made these black folks so mad. Now you understand how mad you got to get black folks who, for some reason, like she was saying, been voting for the Democrats with no results. Now understand this, guys. It took illegal immigrants to get shoved into their neighborhoods for them to wake up. They didn't start. You didn't hear them whining about all the crime that was being released. You didn't hear him whining about how Mayor, what's her name, Lightfoot or Beetlejuice locked them down. All of the stuff they've been doing to these people up there. It took something like illegal immigrants showing up in their neighborhoods for them to go, yeah, we might have hitched our wagon to the wrong horse. So now all of a sudden, they're pushing a movement to vote for Republicans. Good grief. Boy, this is not good PR for the Democrat Party. Let's see.
Wow. That's just how angry we are. We are so angry that we are willing and going to turn our backs on the Democratic Party.
Which it should have been there for a long time ago. Right about now, this is what they should be seeing. Nothing but our backs. There it is. Only time we should turn around is to chastise them. What is this? That's it. So now, she said, yeah, they're going to turn their backs on them. Good.
I sat in some of those city council meetings and I looked at and I watched the aldermen totally disregard the voices of the people. And when I was going down there, we were coming down every week in the hundreds.
So wait, you're telling me that the Democrats be wanting everybody's voice to be heard unless it's against what the Democrats want? Then all of a sudden, that Marxism kicks in. Yeah, that anti-democracy kicks in all of a sudden. But when Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all of that, their voices need to be heard. I hope there are uprisings all over the country. So yeah, they went down there and these black folks wanted their voices to be heard. And Mayor Conehead was like, "You shut your mouth." You know what I'm saying? You see this cone on top of my head? That means I'm the leader. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm the only one with the cone on top of the head. Okay, now you shut your mouth.
And what we said did not matter. And when we were talking about changing Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, and keep in mind, we still have a right to do that. Just like Biden has the right to put forth an executive order to change the crisis at the border, Chicago's mayor has the right to put forth an executive order to change Chicago's sanctuary city.
So wait just a minute, black smart lady. Who was forced to become smart based on circumstances, based on them abusing y'all to the point where it's like, wait a minute, I better look into this and see it a little differently. I need to look at it through the eagle's eyes. Not right up on it. I need to sit back and look at the big picture. So as we see all those illegal immigrants that's shoved into somewhere, this lady seems to be suggesting that Brandon Johnson has the ability to declare that Chicago is no longer a sanctuary city. In fact, he could have said, I could get rid of this headache that I got myself in and get back in the somewhat good graces of all of my minority voters who's mad at me if I just do the smart thing, which is say, we're no longer a sanctuary city. Then this way I don't have to be blaming Governor Abbott. I ain't got to be coming up with all kind of excuses. I ain't got to be using, thing on racism and all that. I can sit back and tell my people that's a good idea. We're no longer going to be a sanctuary city, and therefore we say, sorry, Chicago's closed. We don't provide all this stuff to them. But because Mayor Conehead is beholden to the man, and I don't mean the government, I don't mean the white man, I'm talking about that Democrat plantation beholden to the man. Hush up, boy. That's what he gets. Hush up, boy. Tell your own black folks that democracy doesn't exist. Okay? Y'all shut your mouths and embrace these people and deal with the situation. Forget logic. Forget reason. Forget listening to those voices, those American voices. Forget all that mess. You tell them there's nothing I can do. They got a right to be here. They're all coming in for asylum, which we all know that's a lie. We all know it's a lie. But here he is pretending like there's nothing we can do. They all have a right. They're here legally. They're here legally. And he knows it's a lie, and so does she. She finally done got hip to it.
Do it? Of course he will not do it.
No, he ain't gonna do it.
If he was going to do it, it would have been done. And remember, there was a vote within City Council where the ordinance to change it was strucken down. And the mayor was the deciding vote.
Well, then he ain't trying to make his job no easier, is he? Up here whining about all of the money that's being spent and we're being overwhelmed and all of this stuff. And you know what? We need help from the government. You could solve that problem by saying, hey, man, so you telling me I'm the one that could decide whether we need to, hush up, boy. I can't do that. So now I got to go ahead and pretend that these people have a legitimate right to be here and they really are coming for asylum and all of that stuff. I got to pretend. Yeah, I got to misplace the blame. I got to redirect it towards Abbott. I got to do all this shucking and jiving. And at the same time, try to make my real voters, my supporters, believe that it's all justified. It's out of my hands. It's Abbott's fault. When all he had to do was say, good, let's vote to not be a sanctuary city. That goes to show he is not trying to solve the problem. That dude's 100% sold out.
Okay, so I want to play just a little bit. It's actually a clip from your Democratic mayor, Brandon Johnson, just after that city council meeting yesterday that got pretty chippy. And at the end of the day, he is the one you are counting on in all of this, as you just said. It's his vote. It's his, in those meetings, it's his voice. It's his leadership that matters. Let's watch.
Let's hear.
We're grateful that the state and the county is working towards providing more investments, even though we have to have a more substantive conversation about where those dollars will actually go.
That's not helping, Cone. That's not helping. We're grateful for the state and more substance. How about this? Somebody give us some money to send these folks back where they came from. There you go. Yeah, problem solved. That dude, one big fat sellout, man. And these people, man, these Democrats, politicians. See, black Democrat politicians and other minorities that become Democrat politicians all come in, and the biggest purpose they serve is to keep their minority people in check. That's it. To be the face to all of the minorities, but yet push the globalist Democrat agenda. Just totally, knowing that this is hurting their people. That's what burns me up. If you are a Latino Democrat and you're supporting this crap, you're hurting Latinos, American Latinos. If you're black Democrat and you're supporting this, or you're doing what Mayor Conehead is doing, you're hurting black people. But they're the first to come out and talk about minorities, black people, and others, and you know what, they're disenfranchised, and they have a voice, they need to be heard. As y'all are working hard to water down their vote by getting these people the right to vote. Up there in New York, it got shut down, thank God. But out in California, just put an Asian lady right on, I guess the voting council or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that. But yet you're looking out for the little man, and voter suppression is a big issue. And I'm saying, what do you mean voter suppression is big? You're suppressing their vote by trying to get folks that aren't citizens to vote. And yet getting out there telling us about racism and all of that mess.
So I just have one question. Chicago had a choice after Lori Lightfoot.
Oh, Harris, you going to do what we all been saying. All for a long time. You're going to ask them, so wait a minute. I know y'all mad and all, but y'all voted for this. And let's see how she handled it. You think maybe she going to get mad and be like, hold up, man. How you going to go ahead and try? You don't be trying. Or is she going to do the right thing right here and make a confession that almost every minority that has been tricked by the Democrat Party should go ahead and confess?
Breaking COVID protocols to go get her hair done and all sorts of things. They didn't have to go farther left with Brandon Johnson.
They didn't.
Why did you vote for him?
I voted for Brandon Johnson because I knew him. I voted for Brandon Johnson because I thought that he would be good for Chicago. I voted for Brandon Johnson because really I didn't do my homework. Because had I done my homework and paid attention to the alliances and who he was with and who groomed...
You hear her, oh boy. You hear Harris, oh boy. She's loving it. You see Harris, she's just as proud as a peacock as she's listening to this. She got that look on her face like, yeah. I love it. Harris is proud, man. She's like, yes, tell us all. So now, this woman right here, you see Mayor Mayor Conehead over there. Yeah, she said, I didn't do my homework. Yeah, if I'd have known the alliances this food. Now, ain't that the truth? We've been trying to convince so many minorities that, boy, if you just do the homework, y'all are voting for these people, and y'all have no idea that the same people who are tricking y'all into voting for them because of racism and all of that stuff are aligned with the party responsible for all that mess, and they're playing y'all. They're using identity politics to keep y'all on that plantation, and they will never allow a black man as a Democrat to acquire power in one of their strongholds that is not obedient to their will. Mayor Conehead is a full-blown prostitute to the Democrat Party in regards to policies, decisions he makes, in spite of how it might hurt black people. That man does not care about black people. He cares about his own butt.
Him, I would have known better, and I would have voted differently.
That is beautifully said.
And that brings me to the challenge of really standing up and not just saying to Chicagoans or Illinoisans, but to all voters in this country. It is time for us to stand up and to vote our self-interest. We vote along party lines, especially as African Americans, and that needs to change. We need to start voting for people who are going to promote our self-interest. And that may not be a Democrat, and it may not be a Republican. It may be an independent candidate. It may be a Green Party candidate. But I think that now we have come to a point in this country where we have to stop marrying ourselves to party, stop voting along ethnic lines.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Go on, girl. And it's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat. Then why I want you to know. She wants everybody to know that they ain't gonna. She's about to make that change. Gonna feel real good. Shimon change. You know. Thank you. She said everybody needs to make that change. Gonna feel real good.
Because we're seeing that that is not working for us. And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Wow. That is a lot. That's a lot of change.
Yeah,
and it only took 3 years with one president to undo what you said, a lifetime of Democratic voting in Chicago, at least for you. Does it make a difference if Republicans come to see you this election cycle and talk about this issue on the ground in Chicago?
I think the Republicans need to come and see us. I think they need to come and talk to us because let me just say this, that the Republican Party has not been spotless, and there are certainly some issues that we would love to discuss with them that I think that we can have some common ground on. I think that we can agree to be disagreeable on some issues, but yes, this is the perfect time for the Republican Party to come into the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and sit down and talk to the people because we are looking for change.
Carter Trust, God bless you. Thank you so much. You put a lot on a lot of people's minds today.
You sure did. That fruit up there is nice and ripe to be picked. Man, I hope this got up to Trump's campaign. I hope as he's going to New York to do some campaigning that he swings through Chicago, and I hope he do it right around the time that the Democrats are having a little evil cultic meeting up there at a Democrat convention. I hope he goes up there and shut that mug down with a rally and a meeting with these disgruntled minorities up there who are suffering because Mayor Conehead and the Democrat policies have shoved all these illegal immigrants in their hoods. Man, boy, if they miss out on this opportunity, good googly moo. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I'm so glad to hear a woman talk like that up there, man. That makes me feel all good on the inside. It makes me feel like there's a little bit of hope. Now, I hope that they can convince a large majority of black people. I know they got a little movement going up there right about now, but I'll tell you, they need some more outreach because unfortunately, you got a lot of black folks. It's just they will sit there with immigrants up to their neck. But I've been voting Democrat for all my life, and I'm gonna be a Democrat. I just gonna have to vote for them, and I'm going. Ugh. So God bless them, and I appreciate her honesty. Sometime you got to go ahead and take it to the chin and eat humble pie and say, "Look, man, I made a mistake. I was ignorant. I didn't do my research." But I've learned from it, okay? And I'm not going to do it again. I now know what not to do. So, Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the social media platforms, follow my other channel. Oh, I'm going to check it, y'all. Yeah, don't run. Don't run. I'm about to see just how many subscribers. See if we hit our 1,000 mark. Let's see here. If we didn't, we gotta do better. We gotta do better, okay? All right, Kevin's Corner. See how many. See how many. Oh, man. Okay. So I've added 40 new subscribers in the last 28 days. At least that's what YouTube is telling me. And I'm at 878. I'm not believing that. But nonetheless, I mean, think about this. I've been doing my live show now for a long time. And every time I suggest that everybody go over and subscribe. And yet that number is at 800. It was just at 800 and something the last time I even looked at it, which was about, what, a month ago? It's unreal. But anyway, it could be them suppressing that and making sure I don't hit 1,000 or, you know, so just in case, please do me the honors of subscribing. Donna just put it in the link in the chat. So click on that link and all you got to do is hit subscribe. Make sure you set your notifications to all. Also, if you're subscribed to this channel, make sure your notifications are turned on to all. If you want to support my channel by donating to my Cash App or PayPal, the link is below this video. Don't click the fundraising link because the fundraising link hasn't been updated. I'm going to update it tonight. But you can help out there. Somebody said, you see 185. Yeah, I got 185,000 still on this channel since the last 5 years. I've been stuck at 185. 185,000. Unbelievable. So you know shenanigans are going on, and that's why I need all of y'all support. Don't forget also text MAGA to this number, 330-974-4607. And then last but not least, follow me on Rumble. And I think that might just be it. Oh, check out the corner store. Now, with that being said, y'all, let's bounce because I got a long, hard work day tomorrow. And then I got to come back and do this again. Yeah. Got it. Round y'all throats. What? Tear up the place, yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. Oh, somebody said, new sub here for a week. Good stuff. Thank you, Cammie. Take care.